everyone, I'm Ceylan Rowe. I'm running for state rep here in the 12th Worcester District. That includes Berlin, Boylston, Clinton, Lancaster, part of Northborough, and part of Lancaster. I live in Northborough with my husband and 2 children. I launched my campaign 8 months ago against an incumbent who's been in office for 26 years and didn't have a primary challenger for 12 years. And since then, in the past 8 months, he dropped out of the race, and now I have new opponents, but my message is strong and it's clear and it hasn't changed. We need change at the State House. We need it to be more transparent. We need more full-time legislators working on the behalf of their constituents. Our legislators should be working full time because these issues are directly impacting people's lives, from climate change to healthcare, and we need people really championing these pieces of legislation. So for the past 5 years as a commissioner, I'm still scratching my head and can't figure out why, the Rowe Act hasn't passed. Why aren't we 100%, the legislation about 100% renewable energy hasn't passed. Child marriage is still legal in Massachusetts. What? I don't understand this. And so, for the past 5 years and continuously, what happens in these commissions is every legislative session, we'll actually look at the bills that didn't pass, and then we'll go advocate for them again, and we'll continuously do the events, trying to educate the community about them. And it's like, why? And the reason why is because we need new people at the State House. We can't keep electing the same people over and over again and then expect change. And so there's just so much wrong. There's so many things wrong. We need new leadership. We need new champions. We need more progressive people at the State House. We need more legislators that are transparent, so their voters can hold them accountable. There's so much that needs to change. Well, if there's one thing that you know about me, it is that I am a change maker. That is not something new to me. I have a long history of being a change maker. First of all, I ran this campaign 8 months ago against an incumbent who hasn't been in office, as I mentioned before. He's been in office for 26 years and didn't have a primary challenger in 12. People told me that it would be an uphill battle. They had no idea how much I love hills. I'm not afraid to speak up and challenge the establishment. As a commissioner, I've been very vocal. As a small business owner who was actually, I would donate a percentage to help refugee women become self-sufficient for several years. The refugee community has not had always had allies, and I've been very vocal about that. I used to work for the Office for Refugees and Immigrants. My first job out of college was actually I took the job knowing that I was going to get thousands of dollars less than the guy who had it before me, and that infuriated me. And so at the State House, when I saw that there was an advocacy day for equal pay bill, I just started going and just being present. 20 years ago in high school, I saw boys groping girls in the hallways. Nobody was doing anything about it. I started a young women's club. I found out that 1 out of 4 women in America are in an abusive relationship. That statistic has not changed in 20 years. And so I started a conference to talk about it, so that, I'm a change maker. I can't do nothing. When I see injustice, doing nothing is not acceptable to me. So I will stand for roll call on a piece of legislation that I've co-sponsored, or is very similar piece of legislation around the same topic. I think it's really important for transparency at the State House. I mean, one of the things that I've been talking about for the past 8 months is how votes are not public record committees. And so people are shocked. I'm like, you can't hold your elected official accountable for what they say and what they do. And that's unacceptable. We live in Massachusetts. People keep thinking that we're a super progressive state. We have a long ways to go. And if we don't know how our legislators are voting, we can't hold them accountable. And that's unacceptable. And we need change. We need more people brave enough to say, no, you deserve to know that you have to hold me accountable. And I've been saying that for 8 months, and I mean it. I'm not looking to be in the cool kids club. I have been bullied for most of my life because of my identity. It's something that I've been there, done that, let's move forward. And I think that's why it's really heartwarming to see how many other new people are running for office. And that's why we really need the support of those who are able to speak up, and the mentorship that I've been given by those that I have the utmost respect for. But being bullied is just something that's been part of my life, and it's something that I've learned to just deal with and move forward, and not waver on my moral compass, and continue to speak up because it's the right thing to do. I'm not going there to get a big corner office. I'm proudly be at the basement, and we could change it to the badass level, right? So it's a place where I think I'm running for office to really create the change that I think that Massachusetts deserves. And how dare I not speak up if I have that seat? I mean, for sure, our social services needs to be funded. There's way too many people suffering here in Massachusetts. We're such a wealthy state. I mean, nobody should be hungry. Nobody should be homeless. We absolutely have to fully fund our Student Opportunity Act. Like, come on. As a mom with two children in the public school system, I see it firsthand. Even in my district, 85% and my district has access to broadband, whereas a percentage still doesn't, and that's not okay. And the governor is giving small little micro loan, grants to these communities. We need more funding. Mental health services. I mean, all I've heard in the past 8 months is how the funding has decreased, and all I'm hearing from constituents is how many mental health problems that they themselves are having, or they know somebody having. So we have to fund programs and services to better people's lives. Right now, it's my understanding that we spend about $70,000 incarcerating people every single year. $70,000, and we spend in my district about $12,000 per student. What? Like, we have to be more vocal. We need to elect people brave enough to say this is not okay. Yeah. Every time a woman runs for office, she paves a way for more women to run. And so, as a Muslim American woman, as a child of immigrants, I am so excited that so many new people have volunteered on my campaign, and I want them to actually go and run for office. We're kind of in this together. My campaign is all about really, like, all of us learning, high school students, college students, moms, learning how this process is done, so that they could then go and run for office, whether it's at their local elections, their state elections, or their federal. Like, we need more people actively involved to see how this is done and to support each other and move forward, because we really do need to start we need better transparency and hold our elected officials accountable.